You're checking out the Opie and Anthony Show. We got Bob Grant standing by. You want to explain before we go to him?
Bob Grant, for those of you that don't live in the New York area, I'm sure you know him all over the country. He's a radio legend here in New York. And he's said a lot of things that bothered a lot of people, which in this country is not really allowed anymore, unless, of course, you're attacking from a certain political ideology, then it's acceptable in free thinking. But if you're attacking from Grant's point of view, it was considered racist and inappropriate. So whatever, he was fired from ABC, came back, and he's supposed to get a Lifetime Achievement Award, which he deserved, and R&R backed off on it.
That's right.
Due to just being cowards and pressure.
And this is what R&R printed up, I think, yesterday. Award withdrawn. Upon further review and consideration of Bob Grant's complete body of work, Radio and Records has withdrawn its decision to present the 2008 News Talk Sports Lifetime Industry Achievement Award to Mr. Grant. R&R is sensitive to the diversity of our community and does not want the presentation of an award to Mr. Grant to imply our endorsement of past comments by him that contradict our values and the respect we have for all members of our community. Holy F!
Do you know, reading that, it makes my jaw move to the other side. It's so despicable and such smarmy, just apologetic liberal crap. It is. Let's just talk to Bob. It's just disgusting.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the great Bob Grant. Bob.
Good morning, gentlemen.
How are you, Bob? You sound like Anthony. That's how Anthony does you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, Bob, we're completely outraged that this is happening to you. When did they tell you that they were not going to give you the Lifetime Achievement Award?
Yesterday, a little bit before noontime, I got a phone call from a young lady who was not the young lady who had originally called me to tell me R&R had selected me and asked me to be the recipient. It was somebody else. She was very nervous, identified herself as Cindy, and it was painful to hear how nervous she was, and she finally got to the point. And she said, well, we are going to rescind our invitation to you. And naturally, I asked why, and she said, well, upon reviewing the body of your work, you could tell she was reading it. And I said, well, you mean to say you didn't do any research on me before you decided to give me the award? She was completely at a loss when I asked her that question.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, let me ask you, when you heard about this, I mean, you know who you are and you know your successes in radio. Were you, like, really honored to get this, or was it just more aggravating when they took it?
No, actually, when they told me that they would like me to be the recipient, I said to Heather Cohen, who was the woman who called originally, I said, are you serious, really? I said, well, I'm honored, and I was. I'm not going to be, be phony here and say, nah, I wasn't honored at all. I thought it was fine. And guess what, guys? I've been in this business for so long, and I've been a pathfinder for a lot of people, including you two. And I think I do deserve something like that. But this isn't going to ruin my life. But what it does do, I hope, is destroy R&R. I mean, there are too many people that say, ooh, R&R, and yet I'm getting calls from individuals who claim they're going to boycott the affair at the Renaissance Hotel in Washington, D.C. on March 13th.
And that's a biggie, because that's a big party every year. I mean, you got the hookers, you got the drugs, you got the alcohol, you got the ass kissing going on. So to boycott that's tough for a lot of radio guys to do.
Well, they said they're going to do it, but between now and then, who knows?
Yeah.
I have learned, as you guys might have learned, that at the beginning, when the shock first hits, you've got a lot of friends, and then suddenly they peel off. They fade away. And
they scatter like cockroaches, don't they, Bob? Don't they? You find out who your real friends are.
Well, that's it, the real friends. Now, I think this goes, and guys, I'm not being political here at all, but I think this goes beyond me. It goes beyond you. It goes beyond any individual. What does it say about the state of America today?
Well, it's very typical of what's been going on. I mean, it used to be that, if you said unpopular things or politically incorrect things or what went against the grain, it was considered kind of free thinking. But now it just seems where it's switched, and the people that fought for that which was the left, have become the most restrictive. And look, you had a brilliant quote. It hurts me, but I think it also hurts everybody, because is this what America has become? Is this Salem in 1692, where someone accuses you of being a witch and you're presumed guilty? That pretty much is it. They got a few complaints about honoring you, and they rescinded it because they're cowards.
Is that what happened, Bob? A lot of people started emailing from maybe some special interest groups?
Or a couple of people.
One guy.
One guy.
I'm not even going to mention his name, but it's been identified. As a matter of fact, he's bragging about it. And the reason I'm not mentioning his name is that's precisely what he wants. But this is a guy who has been stalking me for, at least 20 years. And his whole life is an obsession with me.
Well, how did one guy get this done then? You got some more people behind him, or?
Recklessness of corporations, people in general.
Why?
That's all you have to do is point the finger. Now, I said to someone from the Washington Times who called for an interview, I said, well, what about some of these charges? I said, what charges? Well, that you're a racist. I said, what is a racist? Would you please tell me? And if you can tell me what a racist is, would you please identify a few? And leave me out for a moment. I won't have my feelings hurt. And she couldn't do that. And then I asked her if she knew of anything I had said, and when was it? And she went back to April 3rd, 1996. I said, oh, something in 1996. I said, even if I said something that was illegal, wouldn't the statute of limitations apply here? And she said, well, you did say that about Ron Brown? I said, what did I say about Ron Brown?
Do you regret?
Guys, your intent is to entertain.
Yep.
And you like to get laughs, and if you didn't like to get laughs, you wouldn't be as good as you are. But I like to get laughs, too, and I thought it was a little humorous what I said about being, the famous quote, which was really one of the most innocuous things I've said.
Yep.
Yeah, you probably said a lot worse that no one picked up on, right?
Yeah, right. So
that's usually the case. Like, they point to what I'm as
later or so,
well,
and suddenly it's like I just said it yesterday.
Right.
It is amazing how Jesse Jackson is forgiven, or other people are forgiven for these things they say that are politically, incorrect or vicious, because time has passed, and if you dredge up their past, you're seen as not letting go and letting people move on. Mm-hmm. And yet, a white guy that made a remark like that, it's very safe for them to continue attacking 12 years later. And just this guy, whoever it is that's stalking you, is probably a liberal guy, and it's the bane of his existence that he just cannot reach you and make you speak the way he wants you to speak and think the way he wants you to think.
And it's really sad that R&R just buckled and
why?
And is listening to this one guy, and I don't know. I just don't understand why R&R is doing the same thing that special interest groups are attempting to do to radio.
Have you been attacking this on your show, Bob? You're on Bob's on ABC. What are you on every? Is 8 to 10? Is it Monday through Friday?
Well, sadly, I'm not going to be on tonight because I think they're carrying a hockey game or a baseball game.
Well, that's some great programming. If I'm the program director of ABC, I get rid of the hockey game because everybody wants to hear Bob Grant tonight.
What were you saying, Bob?
I want to acknowledge that some of my colleagues over there were brilliant yesterday. Sean Hannity,
sure.
And Mark Levin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they really gave it to R&R, and I was listening, and I was very proud of them.
Hey, can I tell you what I used to love that you would do on ABC? Because they used to carry the Yankee games, and a lot of times that would cut into Bob's show. And I was a Yankee fan, and he would never mention the Yankees. It would be so, like, he'd be in the middle of his show, and he'd go, well, we have to go because the Milwaukee Brewers have a baseball game tonight, which I always thought was so funny, the way you would just slap the Yankees when they would interfere with your show.
Yeah, but
well, you see, you're very perceptive because some people never never knew what I was up to. They thought, oh, we now carry the Brewer game?
You always made me laugh, and it's like, how could people not see the humor in just the brutal honesty, the unapologetic honesty of the things you would say? I don't see how anybody, even whether they agree with you or not, could not just love listening to that.
Well, you want to know something? If you tuned in and everything was agreement, I don't think you'd maintain your audience.
No, not at all.
What do you think? I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, Bob Grant said something very interesting earlier. I just want to go back to it for a second. That, all we're trying to do with these radio shows is to entertain people, and we don't have a script. And every once in a while, you're going to mess up. And that's not okay anymore in this day and age. Remember the days, Bob, all you had to worry about was the FCC regulations? That's all. But now you got to worry about how powerful some of these special interest groups are, and you got to watch every single word you say, and that makes for a tough position for all of us broadcasters, you know? I mean, at this point, we're not allowed to touch Asian humor.
Well, that's true. I mean, you go back to when Don Rickles first burst on the scene.
Yep.
Everybody was just absolutely captivated by the guy. He's still one of my all-time favorites.
Absolutely.
But if he were just breaking in now, I wonder what would happen to him.
Well, do you find it disgusting that Sharpton is on the panel? That he's actually on this panel, not because Sharpton's on the panel, but because they're rescinding an award to you because of inappropriate things or things that they felt you should be scolded for. And this guy, who has just been a pig for the last 20 years in the media, is allowed to speak.
Yeah, let's look at his body of work. Why is he allowed to, talk at the convention? Let's study his body of work.
Well, here's a guy who helped perpetrate the fraud of the Tawana Brawley case, and still walking around. As a matter of fact, bigger than ever. And the question that people are now beginning to ask is something I brought up years ago. To what office has he been elected to? Where does he get his power? Who said he's the arbiter?
White people.
Yeah.
Who said that he is the court of last resort? Who the heck is he anyway?
White people said it.
I think maybe he still resents me because many years ago, over at WABC, maybe in 84, 85, somewhere around there, I had him on the program, and he was debating somebody else, and I was astounded by the jewelry and the big gold watch on his wrist. And I commented, I said, Al, how can you raise your arm with all that jewelry on it? And he didn't like that one bit.
Of course not. But you're right, because he's not been elected and because he doesn't, quote unquote, have an office, there's no accountability basically to anyone. Whereas if you work for a radio company, you work for CBS, you work for ABC, that's who you're accountable to. But I don't know who he's accountable to. Which I have no problem with him saying what he wants to say. But the fact that white people, every time he yells, white people just kind of back up with their hands raised and are apologetic and, oh, sorry. And they react the way he wants them to react.
Right.
It is just kind of sickening, and we're just really, really irritated.
Yeah. Does Reverend Al have anything to do with what happened to you, Bob?
Well, this is
a lot of people are speculating.
Aspect of this whole thing, because it's not a level playing field. I hate to use that analogy. I don't know what else to say though, but it's not. It's a double standard situation.
Yeah.
If you get into an argument with a political figure on the basis of his politics, and he happens to be a black politician, then you're going to be accused of racism. Sooner or later, it's he's doing a racist. But if a guy's a conservative and he happens to be black, he's my guy. I'm interested in his political philosophy, not the color of his skin. But there are some people that don't want to believe that, like Jeff.
That's brand new, though.
Doesn't, and Al Sharpton doesn't, because they've been making a nice living off of the fear that people like, well, you can name them all, members of the white race, are terrified with being called a racist by someone like that. And that it really, in the long run, is hurting everybody, but they don't get it.
Right. We got Patrice O'Neill in studio, Bob. Patrice, what were
How
you
are you,
trying to
sir?
say?
I'm Almond. They call us almond now.
Oh, really?
The
That's
community, yeah.
Sounds nice.
I just wanted to say, though, this brand new white people are getting in trouble for being racist is brand new. It has to be less than 20 years old. So it's like all of a sudden white people just kind of want a lot of anger to go away. And we're not having dialogue to get rid of old anger. It's just that old white guys now feel victimized and they want it all to be some colorless world all of a sudden.
Well, there's a tendency, especially in America, we do tend to go from one extreme to the other. Now, let's face it, our legacy was of slavery, Jim Crow, certainly segregation that was very cruel to black people. Now we're going completely the other way, trying to compensate. I have nothing to compensate for. I don't know about you guys, but I was born long after slavery was eliminated, and I did not participate in anything that would keep anybody down on the basis of race. And I have no guilt whatsoever. I would have guilt if I didn't stick up for an individual who deserved my support. Notice, I said individual. And if we can ever get back to America being the land of the individual, we'll be all right. But I don't think we're going to get there.
But that,
Well, go ahead, Patrice.
This is coming from a white guy. I mean, no offense. I'm just saying it's coming from a white guy. It's like the land of the individual. Jim Crow was over yesterday. Like, I was born in 1969. Martin Luther King got shot in the face by a cracker in 1968. All of a sudden in my lifetime, we have to go back to the land of equality and the land of this wonderful land. It's because it's becoming hard for white guys. Now we got to stand up. Now I'm the one that stood up for Imus, but it wasn't because Imus poor white man. It was the fact that I make a living talking. So it's like I stand up for that. But this thing where the land of the free and how we all need to come back to what? That's for you, not for me.
Well put. I was watching a statement made by Barack Obama, the senator from Illinois. Of course, we know he's running for president. And it was a statement which I agreed with 100%. He was talking about Ronald Reagan. I think he has decided that it's very smart for a Democrat to praise Ronald Reagan. And I was thinking about the fact that I haven't heard one person say to me, gee, I don't know, I couldn't vote for him, he's black. Not one. I have heard some people say, he's too liberal for me. And that's the basis that we're supposed to base our vote on, and that is the policy, not what the guy looks like. But have you heard anybody jumping out of windows because Senator Obama is black? I haven't.
If he gets elected, we will.
They said it, I didn't.
Exactly. That's the whole thing, Norton.
That's what I wanted to say.
Can I enjoy the fact that I just made my Bob Grant laugh?
But that was his laugh was my eyeballs rolling in the back of my head because white people I've never heard a white person on radio, on TV at any point ever say the N-word before the word that caused the N-word. Yeah. Meaning, I've never run into a white guy. I've never run into a white guy that said they was mad because OJ was a black guy that killed a white woman. It's always like, I'm upset that a man killed a woman. It's like white people never admit to being racist. That's why it's like this conversation's null and void. It's like we're victims of racism, but the average white guy never admits to being racist. Ever. It has to be a frothing at the mouth cracker or nothing.
We didn't say that we didn't like OJ killing Nicole because it was a black on white thing.
No, you won't admit that the reaction was racial. White people don't admit it.
Well, because we thought that she made the mistake by being there to begin with.
Right.
Of course. Of course.
Well, using your logic, do black guys admit being racist?
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been handed this bulletin here.
Uh-oh.
Opie and Anthony want to change from being a duet to a trio. And who is the gentleman who added to the mix would make it a trio?
Patrice O'Neill there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just go back into the corner, sir. Lord of Jesus, give me that watermelon rind so I can wear it as a hat. I just was talking, sir. I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt with your buddies while you're sitting here wanting the world to be the same again. Sorry about that, Mr. Bob Grant, hero to all white guys.
Hold on. Just tell Bob you're going to come down to the studio later. He's not out tonight.
I don't even know what a trio is, sir. Ain't that a cookie?
It's what leaves grow on.
Yeah.
A tree.
Wait. And it's like you don't know what Bob meant by that. You might be misinterpreting Bob. Bob, do you not like Patrice?
Well,
exactly. Yeah, you help out.
I'm glad that you called. I'm delighted to be with you. And I do have to get going here, but
okay.
Just keep on keeping on.
All right. Any final words for R&R for taking away your Lifetime Achievement Award?
Well, I really think they should be ashamed of themselves, but I don't think that they're capable of shame. And I just wonder how they figured to give me the award in the first place. If I was such a horrible creature, so undeserving, when did they first discover it?
It's obviously just a disgusting example of just being cowards. And a lot of times I think white people react to racism like that because they're afraid if they don't, their own racism is going to be revealed. It's almost like the way black guys will distance themselves from a black guy who's a mugger. White people distance themselves from anything that's racially inappropriate because they're afraid it's a reflection on the way they really feel. Mm-hmm. So look, we're obviously fans, and we're sorry it happened to you, but it's almost good it happened because we'll just point out how disgusting R&R is for
yeah.
I ran out of steam.
Definitely, and I certainly don't hold any race responsible for this because the guy that was sending the emails is a white guy.
Yeah.
And I think the public ought to know that. You know, sometimes people assume, oh, it must be a black person. No, it rarely is a black person. I mean, not everybody's Jesse, not everybody's Al. So, by the way, I wanted to ask you guys: are you going to the R&R convention?
No. We're rarely invited, and we've never gone to any of their functions. We just don't believe in any of that crap.
Now, before I do leave, I want to hear Anthony do his famous imitation.
All right, Anthony with the famous Bob Grant.
Okay, here we go. Get off my phone! Forging ahead.
Hey, you know, that's so good. It's scary because you could go around using that voice saying things and I'd get blamed.
Hey, it's the great Bob Grant. Keep going strong there, Bob.
Yeah, we love you, man.
Big fans.
Been fans for years.
All right, guys.
All right, we'll be in touch, all right?
Straight ahead.
All right,
there you go.
Straight ahead. That was
straight ahead, right. There goes Bob Grant. Great impression, Anthony.
Thank you.
All right, the Opie and Anthony Show. Phone number is 877-212-ONA. Still to come on the show, we got Sylvester Stallone calling in at 8 o'clock to what? Promote Rambo for about 7 minutes?
8:10. We got him for like 10 minutes. And then at 8:30, we have Andrew Morton stopping in, who wrote the book on Tom Cruise.
All right, very good. Anthony. You all right? Oh. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Phone number 877-212-ONA. Patrice O'Neill in studio today. And Patrice, once again, you got the phones lit. So why don't we say hi to Joe in New York? Joe, what's up, buddy?
How you doing?
All right,
Hi,
Joe.
Hey, how you doing? I just wanted to ask, why is it all right for him to say cracker and stuff like that, and we're not allowed to say the N-word?
Well, first of all, cracker doesn't have the same
Social implication.
and the same punch that the good old N-word has. I don't think there's a white guy alive that cares if he's called a cracker.
I mean, I don't care I'm called a cracker, but everybody's screaming about being equal and everything like that.
But I think you're picking on the wrong person. I don't think Patrice cares if you use the N-word.
Patrice encourages it.
Right, he don't care.
Yeah, no, I'm not picking
He's not about the double standard
I
thing.
want a fair fight, man. I don't want white people. Now that I'm actually really allowed to be, not that I'm, put it this way, I didn't fight to be able to be how I am. Somebody else fought to be how I am. and I'm taking advantage of all the things I can say, and now white people are acting like, poor me, I can't be racist no more. So now that you can't be racist, just like what white people do, if nobody can, you taking your ball and going home. You trying to figure out a way to have me stop having fun with the language.
But that's I disagree with that only because hold on, sir. One second. White people aren't saying that you can't be white. The problem with white people is like we get tired of like things being misinterpreted as racist when they're not by other white people. Like my problem when it comes to race stuff is not what black people complain about because it's rare. Sharpton doesn't count as the average black person. It's other white people who like to show how non-racist they are by scolding.
But you never hear now that view is unique. But like this guy here, he's not saying that. He'll never say that. He gets on this situation. Here's the problem with dudes like this. It's not Sharpton. It's like a Bill O'Reilly kind of guy. And your misinterpretation of what black people are saying as being white. Bill O'Reilly has you confused that you're him, that you're a white guy like him. He's the white guy that black people talk about. Bill O'Reilly's a white guy, not you, Fred, or whatever, that you're going to work, or Joe, the guy from Long Island. You're not my oppressor. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a certain, it's a ideology that includes you as the N-word. That's what I'm saying. You're the N-word too, Joe. So that's what I'm saying is stop trying to be a victim. All of a sudden, the tables are turned. We're in charge.
Let's say hi to Mel the trucker. Mel, it's the Opie and Anthony show. What's up, Mel?
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, Mel.
Patrice is right. You know what? A lot of people just need to just relax. I don't care about people using the N-word. It's some people that are just stuck on certain, I don't know what it is, ideologies or what. If people would just be upfront with each other and say, look, I'm racist, this is why I don't like you, maybe we can have a little bit more respect for people and we can all get along a little bit better in this
Why
world.
can't I be racist? That's what I'm saying. I don't
care if you're racist.
But why can't, see, the thing is we're dealing with a new thing, which is covert racism now. It's rare that no one's sick and dogs. I know that the cops do what they do, but for the most part, I don't need white people to have to like me. You can be racist if you want to. I don't understand why I gotta like you.
Do you care if white guys are racist in general?
It doesn't bother me, but
it doesn't bother me if a black guy's racist. Doesn't bother me if a white guy's racist.
But I think there's a lot. If you notice what's going on, it's a lot of old black folks and a lot of old white folks that are fighting,
still battling,
still upset about busting. I just think it's old people fighting.
They'll be in the old age home together with their walkers with the tennis balls on the bottom, and they'll still be going at it, man.
Going after Imus, and like that Imus thing. You know what that was at the end of the day? It was like, okay, it's like white people, old white man goes, all right, listen now, we're going to trade you, boy, we're going to give you Seinfeld's buddy that slide through the door, and we're going to give you the old man Imus, okay, we're going to give you him, and what you do is you give us that damn hip-hop. We want hip-hop. We want to just mess it up. We don't like these young Negroes. So you trade that, and all black people hate hip-hop. So they go, sure, we're going to give you give us the two white guys and put 3 black people on MSNBC, CNN, and Fox, and then you get to tear hip-hop apart. And you get to destroy the N-word also. You can wipe it out. And that's the deal they making. To old people making deals for nothing.
May I say one more thing?
Sure, man.
I am 39 years old. I'm black. I'm a truck driver. I was born in Mississippi, raised in California. I hear this mess all day on the CB. It's to the point to where it doesn't too much bother me that the people out here using the N-word, but don't hide behind it. Come to my face and say it and explain to me why you feel the way you feel, and I will respect you a whole lot more.
Mel, you lost me when you said you were a black truck driver. That's like being black and in the NHL. Oh my God. Are you insane?
Yes.
How many black guys are in the trucking industry?
That's like black skydiver.
Right.
I know.
You gotta be insane to be a black truck driver. And you drive down south and all that?
you know what? I like the insane money that I make.
I understand.
I work hard, and I'm doing an honest job. I used to be an old drug dealer. Back in my younger days, I grew up in South Central, so I know what it's like to live on the street. And I just turned my life around, and this is an honest career that I'm in now. But a lot of people still don't respect just the skin color that you have, which is the dumbest thing. You know what? If you don't like me, sit me down. Let's have a cup of coffee. Let's talk about.
You ever kill a white hooker?
And go from there.
Yeah. Are you all about the white hookers?
They'll never find you. You won't be profiled.
What are they called? The lot? What are they called?
Lot lizards.
Lot lizards?
They call the lot lizard, and yes, I love the white hose. Yes.
You like the white hose? Is it a guarantee you're going to be voting for Obama, Mel?
No, you know what? I'm not voting for none of those clowns because all of them are stupid.
Yeah.
We do need a change in this country. Obama's not going to do it. Mr. Clinton's not going to do it. The whole system's jacked up. I don't like what I see. And these clowns that are voting for Obama because he's black, they're stupid. These females that are voting for Hillary because she's a woman,
Yep.
they're stupid. So you know what? People need to just wake up and look inside themselves before they make these decisions instead of just going with the status quo.
Well, we just started a new bit. We're just asking people on the street who they're voting for and why, and their answers are unbelievable. No one knows the issues at hand. No one knows what these candidates actually stand for. And when I say no one, I'm talking about probably a majority of people out there. I'm sure there's a bunch that do, and they study this stuff. But in general, there's a lot of people that are going to vote for Barack or not vote for Barack because he's black, and the same thing with Hillary and the woman thing. And that's what it comes down to, not what she might do or attempt to do when she's in office.
Yes, that is true. But like I said, there's a bunch of clowns and idiots out here in this world, and they're just led along by their nose and what they see and hear on television, radio also.
Right.
Jimmy, I love you. Jimmy.
Thank you very much.
I love all you guys. I'm a full-time listener, and I got to get off this radio.
All right.
Because I'm coming up on these scales, and the police are right behind me.
All right,
man. Thanks a lot.
God, you must get really scared when you see the police.
It all balls down. After we get all civil rightsy till we see a cop.
Right. Oh, damn.
Oh, man.
Oh, they got to weigh my
I
truck
have
again.
a dream. Oh, damn, cop. Shut up. And let me tell you something about these crackers. Charlie's behind me.
Damn.
Stick your black fist out the window and say, wait it, sucker.
Yeah, just take off and
Sucker.
just take off and do a little Tyrone and the Bandit.
Just get on top of your semi and do the George Jefferson dance on top.
Right. Hey, this is the perfect time to play this story that we were going to get to, but then Bob Grant called. Someone got fined for using the N-word.
Of course. Go ahead.
Well, fine from what?
And I guarantee
Here's
it
the
was a black
story.
guy.
I don't know. Let's go to it.
This Passaic, New Jersey public works employee decided to go to court when a man used racial slurs against him.
The N-word is...
Hold on. By the way, Nate in Georgia, Opie, you got to be S-ing me. I work in a warehouse in Georgia, and 75% of truck drivers are black. In that area, I guess.
Yeah.
You're out of touch, you silly goose.
Watch the language, sir. This is radio.
Look, when you think truck driver, are you thinking black?
No, and
No.
I
All
just
right,
reject that.
75%.
20. There's only 25% white guys with these jobs that you make a lot of money being a trucker, and you got to drive cross country. You think they're letting 75% of Negroes just drive around this country in in your hooker killing machine?
I'm sure they would let them, but
Come stop it.
I don't think anybody would stop black guys from being a trucker.
75%. Stop.
I just don't think that that's realistic. Trucking is responsible for 3/4 of the businesses in this country would shut down if trucks didn't operate. Like if they just stop. So I just think that there's not enough black people to do that job. So they do a few.
Really? What, the 20 million? And probably 10 who have licenses? What are you talking about?
I'm saying, like, listen.
I'm listening.
There's over 100 million white people.
There's more than that.
That's why I said over.
Yeah, that was very good, Noah. That was very, very good. Go ahead, man. That was quick as hell. I got to give him that one. I wanted to ignore that one. That was good. Go ahead.
I just think that the odds are there's going to be more white truckers. I'm only saying just because there's more white people. I don't think that with less of a population you'd have a 75%. It just doesn't make sense statistically, numerically. That's all.
Okay, let's get to this story because it's pretty interesting.
This Passaic, New Jersey public works employee decided to go to court when a man used racial slurs against him.
The N-word it's not a word, it's the word that comes, the negative effect of it.
He had his work truck parked on a city street when the verbal barrage struck.
He got angry and you calling me a million names. And finally he called me the N-word.
The man who made the comments ended up paying a $150 fine.
At least fine. So they learned that this is everybody's city, this is everybody's country.
This man agreed with the punishment.
I even went to jail behind that, honestly, for a Caucasian calling me that. Me acting out on it got me 4 years in prison.
The city worker is just glad he got his day in court.
The gentleman, he apologized, and apology accepted, move on.
It should have just been an apology. Going to court. And what I would like to know, what they're doing is they're dolling this story up, for lack of another old lady way of speaking, but they're adding to this. He was probably caught on some kind of a public nuisance thing, or there's probably something where if you're screaming at a person or whatever, it was probably in the context of that, and that was probably the example they cited. Like, that doesn't make sense. He just dropped an N-bomb and got fined.
Right.
In court. It just doesn't make sense.
But that would be on the road where I think it's trying to lead to.
Absolutely.
Which is to ban the word from anybody, like, because if you ban that word, if you could go to jail or get fined saying that word, white people don't say that word. Unless they're home.
Oh, we say it.
Not to get fined.
No.
Like, I say it to get fined. What's up?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I get fined by that. So it's like, who's that hurting? It's not white people don't even say it.
By the way, Kevin from Connecticut backing up a little bit. Smokey and the defendant.
That's funny. That's funny.
I was trying to start a bit, and Kevin, went with it. So thank you to Kevin.
Hey,
I went with Tyrone and the Bandit. He's going.
Tyrone and the Bandit.
He's going with Smokey and the defendant.
Tyrone and the Bandit is better.
All right. Well, I was attempting a bit, and Kevin acknowledged it at least. Let's say hi to Vinny in Brooklyn. Vinny.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, hi, Vinny.
Love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Welcome aboard.
What's up?
Straight ahead.
Listen. I don't understand something. How come it's okay for people on the street to say, "I'm voting for Obama because he's black," but if a white guy says, "Hey guys, I'm not voting for Obama because he's black," he gets in trouble?
I don't know. People on the street are running around yelling, "I'm voting for him because he's black."
That's like, wait a minute, no. That's like saying I'm running from the police because I'm black, and the police saying I'm not chasing you because you're.
Patrice, I love you, man. Patrice, you're awesome.
Yeah, Patrice, explain that though. Like a black guy can say, "I want to vote for Obama because he's black," but if a white guy does say it, quickly you go, "He's a racist."
Exactly.
But that,
I just want to understand that because the guy
one is racial and one is racist.
No,
not necessarily. No. That's no, because if you're voting for someone just because they're black, that's how you're dolling it up. But it could just be because you don't like the other guys because they're white. I mean, it depends. You know what I'm saying? There's no difference.
But it has to be the fact being, though. That's I keep saying this. If white people can be honest for 5 seconds about racism or race, these arguments or these conversations wouldn't happen because black people are free enough to go mentally, hey, I'm going to vote for him because he's black. Yep. But you got to understand, historically, white person will vote for. It's been nothing but white males as the leader of this country forever since this country has had presidents. You don't think that's racial? So you're saying there wasn't another better candidate somewhere? There was some black people that ran. There's some white women that ran at one point, or black women that ran. You're making this racial. The whole world. All of a sudden, we have to sit here and have examples of black people being racist? Like, how come you can say that? You've been able to say nigga freely till yesterday.
Well, that's white people are being frustrated, and they're asking black people the question. But the real problem, again, is the scolding from other white people. That's the real problem. I mean, again, guys like Sharpton, they're just opportunists who they hear.
Well, white guilt is your problem. That's why.
Absolutely.
But that's why I think black people.
Yeah, you guys taught me about this white guilt thing. I had no clue about this until I started hanging out with you.
Black people, Opie, should stay out of this language game because for the most part, one of our biggest allies is white guilt. White people going. That's why Michael Jackson's not in jail. White guilt. That's why it's a lot of things that happen because of white guilt. And let's not be, and not to be an apologist or something, but all the struggle that we had in this country, there's always been white people. There's always been a section of white people who are like, this is just wrong on a human level, and helped abolitionists and Jews in the 20s. And a lot of white people died during civil rights, man. A lot of white people help. It's not like we're like, oh, white people. It's just it's to have a discussion about it, man. Is you need two people admitting something. You can't have a racial discussion when white people say nonsense like, how come you can say that and we can't? Because it's a double standard. You hung us, you beat us, you beat us with dogs, you hose us down, and beat us with dogs, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? And
people are really angry.
You've done all of this stuff, and we can't say what we want for 5 minutes? You're not giving us no money like you gave the Japanese?
But
let us have language for something.
You're right. The only problem I have with that is when I'm being scolded by those same guilt-ridden white people who are scolding me because what I'm saying to be funny or for whatever reason is a reflection on the way they really feel. That's my only problem. Black people should say whatever they want.
But now we're losing that because we're being unreasonable, where now we're chasing a white guy every time he makes a racial slip or we're attacked, lose his job. Now white guilt is becoming something that's not our ally, where white people they're coming together to now fight against black people with this language thing and this new white people are a victim thing. It's not like it was before when we were actually victims and people felt like we were victims. And now people are starting to feel like we're not, and they're trying to make me think that this is equal in this country. I'm equal now? Okay, I'm equal. I'll go with the okie doke. The banana in the tailpipe. I ain't falling for it. That's why I say black people just stop. Let white people say goofy stuff so we can fight what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Because now it's covert. It's underneath. If there's no way to prove you're a racist now. Before there was a way. You go, wait a minute. The dude just beat me in the head because I'm black. But now it's hard to prove that you're racist.
No, it's because anything racial is perceived as being racist. Like when you look at, again, the media is a bunch of guilt-ridden white people. When you look at the way like Fat Nick, the guy from Brooklyn who hit the black guy with a bat, everybody knows they were thugs to steal a thing, and him and his dumb friends were thugs. That's all that was. And he was on the front page of the paper for months because he was a white person. The other white people could point out and go, see, he's the problem. It's not us, it's him.
Right.
That's all that is. I mean, it's, I lost my point.
All right, right on. Let's go to Anthony in Syracuse. Anthony.
Yes.
What's up, Anthony?
How you doing, guys?
Hey.
I just wanted to say, you guys rock. Jimmy, you're the funniest cat around.
Oh, thanks, sir.
Patrice, you rock also. I just disagree with a couple of your, your beliefs and whatnot.
Okay.
And I don't believe that white people are not afraid to be racist and stuff like that.
That's true. The white people white people in a lot of places aren't afraid to be racist. The white people that we deal with in New York or Los Angeles in our business are horrendous.
Yeah, we live in kind of a different area.
You'd be surprised when you
compared
travel.
to the rest of the country.
Fair enough. Yeah.
They embrace it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Manhattan was built on getting everyone together and trying to figure out how to get everyone to get along. So,
right.
Hey, by the way, for Obama to win the presidency, he's gonna need the white vote.
Oh, of course.
That's the whole point.
Right. And people don't understand that point. If we end up having the first black president, there's going to be a lot of white people that voted for Barack Obama. No one understands that.
Every white person.
And the more I read about Barack Obama, there's a movement going on with young white voters that want to vote for Barack Obama.
That's why
I think it's hilarious when people get scared about the potential that we're going to have a black president. Whitey has to come out and vote for Barack Obama in the end.
And that's why
every single black person votes for Barack Obama. It doesn't get the job done.
That's why he has to be even. That's why he cannot ever say. He can't even say the word dark skin.
Because
he
like
can't
Jimmy was
support black.
That's why you can't like look at the stats because like Jimmy was pointing out, there's a hell of a lot more white people in this country than black people.
250 million white people. He has to get white votes. And if for 1 second they think he's going to be the black president instead of the light skinned, dark skinned president who's not really for black people, he has to convince white people that he's just a regular guy.
That's why he's using U2 music.
Right.
Song.
Yeah.
He has to.
Yeah.
He has to. Black people going to vote for him anyway.
Yes. That's why I always thought a black Republican had a better shot, by the way, because he would get a lot of a black Republican. I think would have a big crossover for white people that want to see it, and from black people that are typically Democrat.
What planet are they going to get that candidate from?
I don't know, Alan Keyes. There's just conservative black guys.
Well, Colin Powell. We thought.
True, but I mean, it's not like there's a lot of them though.
He's not going to be the president, dude. I was doing a man on the street thing where I was just asking people to put in order who they thought the most important to the least important between black men, white women, black women. White men are just number one across the board, and it would be white women, then black women, then black men would always be last in terms of who you think is the most important entity out of those four in this country.
Black women, though, ahead of
black women were ahead of black men.
Oprah, maybe why? I mean, Oprah, maybe, and Tyra.
Just because it's a fear level, man. It's still there. It's such a fear level. Visceral fear level of black men, dude. Yeah, black women sleeping with your wives and your women and the running, the jumping, the fear of what black men will do if we get into some white power position that we're going to now cook you.
That's true. It is ridiculous to have that fear. And if you look at South Africa, you'll see things are going well.
Do you want a black president? Do you want Barack?
To be honest with me, yeah, for symbolism, just to be alive to see something like that, yeah.
Thank you. I said it the other day, and my logic is ridiculous. Most listeners know that. I want a black president because I want interesting stuff to happen during my lifetime.
Yeah.
I want to be alive to see a black president and to see what that actually means in the end.
Yeah, I mean, symbolism, yeah.
I want to see another
changing things. I don't know, but symbolism, yeah.
I want to see another tsunami during my lifetime. I want to see the craziest earthquake of all time happen during my lifetime.
The meteor?
Yeah, I want to be alive for the meteor, yes.
I like the way you lump a black president in with tsunami and an earthquake.
With natural disasters.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, man, Jimmy, I was getting away with one, man.
Oh, man. Yeah. There's a watchdog group that was listening to that just now if you didn't do that. Oh.
You see what he's saying? Obama's a natural disaster waiting to happen.
I want to see two things happen in my life.
I hate you,
black
Jimmy.
president and Cloverfield really happening.
Right.
And it's the same to me. Negro running through the city kicking stuff.
I want two things, a black president and the bubonic plague coming back.
You did say a bunch of...
Sorry, well, hey, it went right over your head.
Not the dodo bird to become unextinct.
I want rats to take over Manhattan.
Boy, I wish the tuna population would just reestablish itself.
Jimmy doesn't miss a beat, man. I had a great point going.
It was just very funny.
Maybe I should have, come up with some better examples.
Oh,
but I think,
man. Black president and the end of the world. Not even the flying Jetsons car was in there.
Yeah. Something positive, like, yeah, exactly. The Jetson car.
Cure for AIDS and a black president.
Right.
Nope.
AIDS, whatever. But the flying car, wonderful. Wonderful for everybody. And to figure out that rocket pack thing.
So that Negro can fly to outer space and never come back.
So the white people can get out. We're nervous.
A big long line full of rocket packs. Free rocket packs for white people everywhere.
Damn, I was on to something, too.
Oh, man.
Black president and lots of natural disasters. Yes, that's what you got from my little rant.
Of course. Subliminal.
Let my people go.
All right, we'll take a break and hopefully talk to Sylvester Stallone after the break, right? About Rambo and other things?
Yes.
All right, Opie and Anthony. I said Opie and Anthony. Opie and Anthony. What happened, E-Rock?
So what happened?
What crashed? CBS crashed? Oh, so what do we do now?
What do we do?
Oh, Jimmy. Your Your mic's not even on.
Oh, no.
What do? We have to actually, like, improvise and stuff?
The network crashed, so they're trying to figure out how to go to break.
Oh, that's wonderful. See what you did, Patrice? I blame you.
That's right.
I blame you.
Wow. I want a black president and all radio to not work.
That is a sign.
That is a sign.
Man, I'm scared now.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do want to see Los Angeles detached from the United States, like Bill Hicks suggested back in the day. Thank you to whoever wrote that. Bill from Waterford. Perfect, yes.
Is this an XM problem or a CBS problem?
CBS.
What happened? What's CBS doing?
The computer died that's supposed to
Aw.
go to the affiliates and all the breaks.
Well, then what happens?
All this black talk.
And yes, I did say Ebonic plague. I meant to say the bubonic plague, yes, but I was very excited.
The Ebonic plague.
I was very excited about my
Yes,
little
but
theory.
that was actually more accurate.
The Ebonic plague.
See, you need me to mess up to set these idiots up.
E-Rock is whispering and panicking. He's just a nervous little man. He's talking into a headset.
E-Rock finally has to do something. He doesn't know what to do.
No, he's spinning out of control. He's spiraling like a dope.
All that sweat coming off his teeny little nose.
Oh, it's awful.
This is turning into a very, very, very weird day.
He does have a
strange day.
Blondie's husband from the cartoon nose. I'd like to just rearrange it with my fist.
He just bugs me. He's just fat and skinny everywhere.
Fat and skinny.
Just cheeks is fat.
Yeah.
Eyelids are skinny.
What happened?
Just a mess.
Hey, E-Rock, how about you give us some info?
Exactly. Instead of just sitting there talking to
They're
no-
almost back up.
What,
almost
how do
back
they know
up.
that? What are they doing? Are they rebooting?
They're rebuilding the log right now.
How do you rebuild a log?
Well, eat a lot of bread.
I was going to say you hold your girl tightly. Rebuild it. I can't believe that.
I didn't get it.
I wasn't sure I was going to get something.
Damn it. I love how honest Patrice is. I don't like blacks in general. It doesn't mean I'm racist. And it's coming from Boston. And, well,
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many times do you have to have a bad experience with one race, one ethnic group, before you're allowed to not like them?
I say you could just hear about it from a friend once.
Wow.
If you just go, I don't like them. I can't say them, but I have a list of who I don't like.
No, I think it's just human nature. You know, you don't like people that aren't like you.
Because it's like
whether it's black, white, or because you think differently, all that crap.
Wait,
we can break now? Do you want to answer that, Jimmy, real fast? I want to talk to the Boston guy. This is classic. Maybe after the break. Stay there, Tim. But
oh no, I wasn't even. How many examples? I was just kidding. I mean, I don't know. I mean, tough question. I don't know how many did it take me. I have no idea. I think my first gig with Patrice cemented it. What a prick you were.
right.
Killed.
By the way, the answer.
Then maybe it hurt him because they didn't do well at the box office because no one said they were good. I don't know, but I mean, he was so good in that, man.
Yeah, really.
Hey, this is going to be funny for a few people. I guess for the rest of America, Bob Grant is a radio legend. We talked to him yesterday because he got
it. He got
effed by this trade magazine called Radio and Records. And
it's ridiculous.
So we had a little interview with the guy. He's definitely been an influence in all of our careers, and we have no problem admitting that. And here's Bob Grant asking Anthony, who was not here yesterday, to do his very famous Bob Grant impression. This is how it went down yesterday.
Now, before I do leave, I want to hear Anthony do his famous imitation.
All right, Anthony with the famous Bob Grant.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Get off my phone. Forging ahead.
Hey, you know, that's so good. That you could go around using that voice, saying things, and I'd get blamed.
Oh, God, that was terrible.
Hey, forging ahead.
It sounded like Jim saying forging ahead.
Yes. To take you inside that clip when he goes, I want to hear that.
Oh, that's funny.
You hear me say something like, all right, here we go. I was ready to do it. I'm like, oh, God. And then I saw Jimmy like, I think I can do it. I'm like, all right. We had this whole thing going on in that 2 or 3 second period, and Jimmy went with it. We did a whole interview with him, and he had no idea that Anthony wasn't here. So.
Yes. Bob Grant, that was another thrill yesterday. Was talking to him, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just a funny,
legendary
cranky dude. He's the greatest.
radio personality. Yes, and curmudgeon.
All right, so Ant's feeling better?
Yeah.